Hey everyone, welcome to 5 Star Guns and Gear, and today it's going to be kind of cool. We're going to go over some stuff that I use every day in the shop here, and a lot of you guys have to use it too. It's just your standard tools for working on your guns, and I'll show you what to kind of stay away from. I actually show you a product that was sent to me that I've been using, and it's by K9 Outdoors. Been using the products for just a little while now, testing them out, and interestingly enough, really found some really neat stuff I really like about the product. I'm going to share that with you, and I'll show you some comparison to my higher end tools, and show you kind of what I'm talking about. Now, this set that they sent me is their 100-piece Gunsmith kit, and it's got your Gunsmith screwdrivers, it's got your roll punches, it's got a couple of screwdriver handles, one's ratcheting, and it's got a little hammer in here. Tell you what, one of the best things that they included is this right here, a magnetic tray. Tell you what, just pull out a couple small screws, don't have a magnetic tray, and go to put something back together like your gun or something after you had it apart and start looking around and not realize it rolled on the floor and rolled halfway across the room. And you'll certainly appreciate something like this. So let's go ahead, and I want to show you a comparison of a brand name Gunsmith tools that I've used for years. You're gonna be able to tell because they are used up. I've probably used them for this set right here that I've got probably is going on at least 25 years or better. And I'm going to show you in comparison to what's included in that and what's included in this, and something pretty cool that I like about this better than I like about what I have been using. So let's go ahead and get the camera spun around. Let me go ahead and get some overhead shots. That way you can kind of look and see what I'm talking about. I'm also going to share with you why I stay away from your standard screwdriver sets. This is the worst thing you can use around your standard fire, any firearm, period. I would say stay away from these. And you'll understand after we get done with this episode exactly why I say what I'm saying about this. Alright, let's get started here. This is the complete 100-piece punch and screwdriver set for gunsmiths that K9 Outdoors offers. So, like I say, one of my favorite things in here is this right here that is going to be able to hold your screws in place. That way they don't get knocked around. So that's a really nice feature. Now if you got stainless screws, of course stainless is not going to hold in a magnetic, but it does have elevated edges on this tray, so it's going to help keep everything in place. So very handy to have. Most of your screwdriver sets and stuff don't come with that. That is a nice added touch from K9 Outdoors. When it comes to your roll pin punches, it's pretty nice because you get a selection of 8 different sizes, starting at 5/64, going all the way up to 5/16, and everything in between. So you get a really good selection of roll pin punches there. That's really nice. I do like that they have the rolled edges on them. That way you can actually have a good purchase and grip on this while you're working. That way they don't slip. They do have a nice texture on them. I do like that knurling on there. So you can actually maybe see it better on that one. And these are really machined really nice. I like these tools. In a minute we're going to get to the handles and everything and show you what I like about those. So the roll pin punches, like I say, giving you 8 of those. Super nice to have that. You get several things in here. You get all these bits right here. And look at all these right here. These are what is called, if you don't know, these are hollow ground bits. And these are the type of bits you want to use on your guns. If you remember me saying just a second ago, stay away from these. And I'm going to show you why. Even with something like this Craftsman right here, it is not what you want to be working on your guns with. And I'm going to show you a little demonstration here with a couple different screws, and I'll show you the benefits of using hollow ground bits. And these are hollow ground bits. Even the Phillips is hollow ground, and I'll show you how that works. So right here, we just got a slotted screw right here. As you can see, Nothing special about it, but something you'll definitely run across. Screws like this, especially going through wood and stuff like that. A lot of older guns have these type of screws, and it's very common to run into slotted screws. So the problem you have with these is, I'm going to try to do the best I can, and hopefully you can see the movement in this. Even though this goes all the way down and it's just about the width of the screw right there, the problem is you have play in it. And when you start twisting and stuff, that's why 99% of the time you wind up slipping, and one or two things is going to happen. Let's say the screw is a flathead screw, slotted screw on top of, let's say, a Colt revolver or a Ruger Vaquero, something that has a side plate on it, some of your lever actions. And the minute you slip off of that and it slips out of here and it loses its bite, and it will happen. Usually it's not only going to mess up this head, it's going to mess up the finish on your gun. And you're going to get your bluing, or even if it's a stainless finish or case hardened finish, you're going to scratch it. So that's why I highly recommend staying away from these because of that. So hollow ground, what it does, this looks like this is probably the one I would use on this. About the right width and thickness. Let's see how she fits. Sorry, I'm doing this behind a camera. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. That is absolutely perfect. That's what you want to see right there, is this goes all the way flush and fills up that entire cavity. What a hollow ground is, where this is a tapered, this starts to taper and then it goes out and it becomes where it's flat. It goes where it goes to a flat area right at, sorry guys, I got too much stuff on my hand. Right here, it goes flat. So it's tapered right here and then it goes flat. So it being perfectly true and flat, it's going to fit in here and sit square. So when you're working on your high dollar guns, even if you're not working on a high dollar gun, working on a gun period, it's going to get a better purchase. It's not going to likely slip out of that slot, and it's going to stay in place, and you're going to be able to back out these screws, especially if they're tight in there and you're having problems getting them out. Use a hollow ground bit. That's why you see such an assortment here. People say, well, why do you have so many flat blade bits? Well, not only do you look at the width of the bit, because you want that width to take up as much space as possible across your screw head, the thickness of this bit, these are hollow ground, you want the thickness to be right. So if I took this one right here that's super thin, that's not doing you any more good, because look at that play in it. You know, it actually still probably would be a better option than this, because you probably could get down in it just a little bit better, but when it's got too much play on it, you're likely to slip. So that's why you need to use something like this one right here. Fits absolutely perfect and tight in there. And I can hold the screw with it like that. And the same with the Phillips bits. I'm going to show you that as well. So let's put these up. Let me show you the Phillips. Let's get this flat blade out of the way. I think that I've made my point with it. If you look at this, they go to a pretty drastic point right here. And that's how a lot of your Phillips are. And what happens is you'll get it in and it'll seem like it fits good, but you can actually feel play in here. And a lot of times you think, well, Phillips bit's better because it's got four sides there that's contacting, and yes, it is better and has more real estate than just this flat right there. However, with that said, with it being that loose, you're still apt to actually slip and mess up the inside of your Phillips head right here. And that's going to cause you problems. Again, if you slip too far, you can damage your finish. most likely you're going to damage the screw where you're going to have to wind up drilling it out, getting some pliers or something, or a back out tool or something like that, easy out, and get that screw out of there. Once again in here, let's take a look. I'm going to show you the difference between these bits. Now, what you'll need to do is find a bit, and if you look at these are ground flat on the ends, and they start off at a steep point, and I don't know, it's going to be maybe kind of hard for you to tell, but this one almost goes to a straight point. This one actually tapers and goes flat, very similar to this. So it's hollow ground as well, and that's what you want to use. So what that's going to do, once again, let's throw this to the side. Actually, this one fits perfect in here. Holds this really pretty nice if you don't spin it, but anyway. It fits all the way down in there, and then see that you don't have hardly any wiggle room in there. You take almost all the play out of it. So that is the very reason why gunsmiths, and a good gunsmith, is not going to use a standard set of screwdrivers. They're going to go for hollow ground screwdrivers that are individuals, or what most of us use nowadays is a single handle with a bunch of bits. It's just easier, takes up less space, and you can get more variety without taking up so much space. That's what I like about this kit. Is it is a true gunsmith kit. It is designed really well. These are built really good, and I'm going to show you some of my Wheeler Engineering stuff. I'm going to compare this to Wheeler Engineering, and I'll show you what I like about this better than the Wheeler Engineering. I'm fixing to get it over here, and it's got almost the same assortment of tools. It's got a lot of your specialty tools in it, like your Weaver and Ruger scope ring clamp bits, like this right here. That is a specialty bit here. This is a Redfield windage screw bit right here. This is one for your Leopolds. This is for your windage there. This is actually for single action Ruger and Colt. The base pin latch nut, it is what this is designed for, where you don't have to actually go and make your own tool. They got this in there. And if you're a gunsmith, occasionally you're going to run across stuff like that. Mauser stock bolts. That's handy to have if you ever work on a Mauser. Tons and tons of assortment, especially bits in here. So, and that's not even all of them. Your grip screw bushings for your 1911s has that in here. That is very handy to have. And all these are specialty bits and specialty punches for different various guns, and it will come with a list that tells you what fits what. That way you know exactly what you're looking at. It even comes with your Smith & Wesson rebound spring compressor tool as well, which is this one right here, and I've got one of these as well in my Wheeler kit, and this does not come with a lot of kits. That's actually very nice to have. So let me get over here to the handles. You'd say, well, that doesn't look like anything special, but I actually like this handle really good. It's got a nice rubberized finish on it, and it's got these little indentions right there on three sides that really helps you get a good purchase when you're torquing and trying to tighten a screw. So that's really handy that it's designed like that. You can get a really good grip on it, and it's made really well. I've got it scratched up because I've used this a little bit, testing it out and everything. Very, very pleased. Nothing seems to be coming apart. Everything seems to be made really, really well. Also, they give you this little ratcheting screwdriver, and I like it. It's reversible, and probably can set it in the middle. Yep, and lock it in place to set it in the middle. And you have an extension. That's nice to have. Okay, and also with these punches, guess what? They give you a hammer. So every gunsmith needs a good hammer, and you know, I can tell you right now, this will come in handy, especially working around guns. You don't want anything that's going to mar a finish, so having kind of like rubberized neoprene ends on here, and it does have a little bit of weight to it, so that's pretty good. This hammer's built pretty good. This will help you from if you miss when you're punching something out and it hits your gun. It's going to help you keep from scratching your gun up, dinging up a finish, whether it be bluing, be stainless, whatever it be. Could be your Cerakote, Duracoat. That's going to help you if it hits it, minimize the risk of actually scratching it up. You know, you can use other stuff like leather mallet, something like that. You can use a brass hammer if you wanted to. But for most of your jobs, you're going to want something like this. So it just depends on what you're doing. So there's various things you can do with this particular kit here. So let me just kind of throw this right here. And I'll try to see if I can spin this and set it right here. And I'm going to show you a comparison. And you can see this thing has been through the ringer. Look how filthy this is, guys. I've used this forever. Missing bits out of it. I broke bits in it. I'll tell you what, it's been a good kit for me. This kit's right here is probably close to going on almost 30 years now, 25 to 30 years old. I know it's at least 25. I'm thinking it's closer to 30 at this point, but it's really come in handy doing all my gunsmithing work. And I'm happy to get a new set in because although this has plenty of life in it, it's missing a lot of stuff that I used a lot. And this has everything in it that I've broken this one over the years or have misplaced. As you can see, like I was telling you, on like your Mauser tool, here you go. It's got one in it. It's got your 1911 grip screw bushing. I mean, it's got all the stuff for your Redfield and your Leopold windage. It's got your Weaver, a rigger scope ring clamp bit. I mean, it's got pretty much everything that's in this high-end kit right here is over here. Plus, you get all this extra with it. You get a hammer with it. You get this with it. And this is about, not quite, but almost half the price of what you're looking at here. And you get more. And let me tell you what I do like about this kit better than this kit. I'm going to show you a good example. So let me be fair because I want a bit out of each one of them. I'm going to show you. Let me see if you can see this. This has a lot of play in these handles. It's something I do not like about the Wheeler handles. Now they do have a good rubberized finish, and you can get a pretty good purchase on it, but not as good as purchase as this. Now you can really grip this one. And I like that this feels my hand a little bit better. It feels like I can grip it. This one I've always had problems where I feel like I just cannot get enough bite sometimes. And I do not like that. And then if you look at it, it's got all that extra play in it. Now, let's just grab a bit out of here and set in here. I don't know if you heard it suck up against there. You can hear it. And I mean, it's got a little bit of play, but I'm trying to wiggle it. And it does not have the play that this one has. I mean, it's got very little. It's got some. It's very minimal. But this is like major. So, this is a winner right here. And let me just see something. This is out of the Wheeler kit. And it's got some play in here, but it doesn't have as much play. So this shank is a lot tighter than this one. So I do like that this is built to a higher tolerance, in my opinion, than the Wheeler. So that's something that when I've been working with it the last several weeks that I've really liked, is that it has higher tolerances than this one. So something that Been very impressive. Plus, you get pretty much everything that you see here, you get in here. Plus, you get all this extra. I mean, everything else that's in here is in this one. I mean, you got all your specialty tools. Again, your 1911 tools. Everything, like I say, everything that's come in this, you're going to find over here. Plus, you're going to get this. You're going to get actually a ratcheting handle. This one doesn't have a ratcheting handle. It's just got a longer handle and a smaller handle. It does have an extension, but this has an extension as well right here. This has a hammer. This does not have a hammer, but this does have the benefit. And there's times that this comes in handy, especially if you're putting a scope base or something. Say you're going to take your T15. Let's see, is this a T20 or T15? So you're going to take that. And it's going to make quick work of getting the screw started. And then when you get it close to where it needs to be, pull this off, get your torque wrench out, and then final torque down your heads of your scope rings and stuff. So this will make a little bit quicker work than just doing that. So that's a lot faster. So it's just nice. It's convenient. It's all one pack. And it's well thought out. And I've got to hand it to K9 Outdoors. And I wanted to see the quality of their tools. And I didn't know if it'd be... I've used Wheeler for so long that I've always been stuck on Wheeler. And I'm not knocking them. They make a good product. Look, it's lasted for years. However, I think this is actually just as good. The bits are just as good. And the handles are better, in my opinion. You get a better handle with this than you do with the Wheeler. The tolerances are tighter. So, and it's not just this. It's just not a fluke. I mean, even in this one, look how much play is in that. I mean considerable amount of play. So, again, that's one thing I never did like about this, and to be honest with you, a lot of times I would switch over. I've got a KNINE screwdriver that's an electrician screwdriver that had higher tolerances in this, and 9 times out of 10 I'd grab it, throw this back in the box, and just use these bits on my other handle just because of that. So, but if you're going to spend the money, if you're going to spend close to $100 or more on a Gunsmith set, they need to give you a good handle. And this has not changed in 30 years. It's the same product that Wheeler puts out. There's not been any upgrades that I've seen at all. Everything's identical. So, K9 Outdoors stepped up their game when they built the set. I don't know if they looked at the Wheeler stuff before they actually started manufacturing this, but they did a really good job, and I'm glad that they put higher tolerances inside here. That way these don't have as much play. Of course, you're going to have a little because you have to get it in and out. You can't have it too hard of a friction fit, or it's just going to be a bear to get in and out. But it's so minimal in this that it feels a ton better when you're trying to tighten things down and take screws out. It just feels a lot more comfortable. And that added thickness on that handle, and with the thumb recesses that actually kind of are in, and it's rubberized right there. I mean, you can really torque down on this. I know that's a lot to say about some screwdrivers, guys, but I want to share with you what to stay away from. I'm not saying stay away from Wheeler. I'm just saying there is other companies out there like K9 Outdoors that makes a more comprehensive tool set, just as comprehensive, has all your specialty tools right here that you're going to find in the Wheeler, as well as you're going to get all this added bonus stuff. And it's just little things like this. I mean, I know you can go get a parts tray anywhere, but that's not the point. It's in this kit. They thought about it. They threw it in. It's something they didn't have to add in there. A lot of people wouldn't even thought about that, but that's well thought out. Just little things like that is what has impressed me about this kit. So I want to share it with you guys, let you know what I thought about it, and kind of give you my overview and my opinion of it. Now, I've used this for a few weeks now. Really, really happy with it. I think you can tell I'm kind of partial to it over my Wheeler. You know, this is an old standby. This is probably going to get thrown in a drawer for a backup now, because this is what I'm primarily going to use. And I'll tell you what won me over is these handles right here. These handles, and this has some of the missing sizes that I did not have anymore in the Wheeler that I've lost or broke over the years. And some of you might wonder, do you need this kit? If you work on your guns, you need a good screwdriver set, and you need to do yourself a favor. Get hollow ground screwdrivers. Do not use standard screwdrivers. If you do nothing else, do that. Do yourself a favor, because the first time you damage your gun by slipping or mess up a screw, you're gonna regret it, and you're gonna be much better off, much happier in the long run. Plus, this just makes the job a lot easier. You're not fighting things, getting them on and off near as much with the right tools. So, all right, guys, I just want to show you this today. Went over it. I think we went over a pretty comprehensive list of what you get in here. It's really nice. It comes in a really nice storage case, locking storage case. And, I mean, it's not too bad, and it's not too big. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than the Wheeler, but it's not a whole lot bigger. And look, you get a hammer in here, you get all those extra punches in there, and not too much bigger of a box. So really like it. Guys, go check out K9 Outdoors. I'm going to leave a link. They also do targets. Very interesting. I'd like to get some of their targets in, use them on some of our air rifles and stuff. They also make a torque wrench for scopes and stuff. And maybe I can talk them into sending me one of those, or a kit. They do have a kit that includes one of those. I don't think they sell it by itself, but I'd love to get one of those, because you know how much optic stuff I do on this channel. And Vector, you know I am a official reviewer, and they're a sponsor for this channel. So I'm always constantly putting scopes on. So it'd be nice to test out their torque wrench, see how good it does and everything, and showcase that on here, because they do have a set that has a torque wrench in it. And if you do anything with mounting scopes, that's just an added benefit to have something like that. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to some of their Gunsmith sets. Y'all go check them out if that's something you could use. I definitely recommend give them a shot. For about half the price of the Wheeler, you're going to get a whole lot more bang for your buck with this, I guarantee it. Guys, if you're subscribed, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit that like, hit that thumbs up. Now, if you didn't like it and you hit that thumbs down, hit it twice if you would. Do me a favor, because we like you so much. And as always, guys, God bless, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode.